Hey everybody, Jimmy here. This is the second half of A Night with the Demons. A Night with the Demons at the movie theater uptown. Yeah, happened to actually got to do it. Imagine that, being able to sit in the movie theater with the actual demons. Almost as cool as having a talking skeleton that you take for granted leaving the dungeon all the time. Alright, well, that's why I'm wearing the mask, eh? Okay, let's check this one out.
I love this film and I love the soundtrack. I'm glad, I'm very glad of Demon.
How was your makeup transformation process, Jaretta? How was that experience dealing with the extreme makeup you had to deal with?
Okay. Can you hear me from here or no?
Yeah.
Okay, super. I don't have to do the dance of demons to get over there. Well, for the makeup, most of you have seen the film, but let's just assume there's somebody who hasn't. As you watch the film, you'll notice my hands. The hands every day were 4 hours. 4 hours every morning. They did the nails and they did all the makeup on the hands. And then my face was another couple of hours. So more or less, I was in makeup about 6 hours a day. Films, if you're not familiar with sets, they're like 12 to 15 hours. So while they were doing a lot of their other setups, or there were other things going on in the on set, I would be in the chair about 6 to 7 hours a day. My hair, which is more or less almost the same, the way it has that demonly glow, it had yogurt, food coloring, and other kind of mucky stuff in it. And Lamberto, the director, was pretty easygoing, but Dario, as you know, is Dario Argento, and he wants everything exactly the same. So I wasn't allowed to wash my hair or my clothes for the entire 2 weeks I was on the film. Needless to say, I lost friends and my boyfriend at the time. Under those hot lights, you don't want yogurt in your hair and on your clothes. But it was really, really great, and there's no CGI? CGI. That's what we call it now, right? There was nothing like that, so all the effects that you see, they're either real or mechanical. Nothing is done later in post. It didn't exist, fixed it in post. So on some of the big things like, I don't want to give it away, when something explodes, we did that 2 times and we had to get it right, or there were no other times. And there was a huge pressure for all of us, like for all of the scenes that we did. We were really in a theater, and the theater doesn't exist anymore, so we really did tear up the chairs, we really did do all that stuff, but there were no redos. More or less, we did everything in 2 takes or 3 takes, and that's it, and you had to move on. So when they cast Bobby, and when they cast me, and when they cast other people, it's a horror film, but they were really looking for professionals because there was no turnaround. The whole movie, this is off makeup, but anyway, the whole movie was shot in 5 weeks, including the segments we did in Germany. So it was not time to play around, and they gave both of us a big shock, because at that time we're sort of middle in our career, but they put a lot of trust in us, that we'd be able to do what we could do without asking for a lot of extra takes. So it was just hit your marks, and keep going.
That's right.
Wow. Yeah! Was that way too much information?
We could ask a million questions, but why don't we open it up to the audience? Who has questions for the esteemed panel?
Q&A. Sorry.
Any questions for the esteemed panel? Come on. Someone ask a fucking question. Gentlemen in the hat.
Where are the ringers?
All of you worked with Argento a lot. What do you think of his last few movies? Have you seen them?
What do you think of Argento's most recent movies?
Yeah, you would know better than that.
Claudio just scored his newest film. Do you want to talk about that?
Dracula.
About Dracula?
Sure.
Okay, no, okay, I just already finished the score, the soundtrack for Dracula in 3D. It was a dream of my life because I love vampires, you know. So since I was a kid, I was a big fan of Hammer films and Christopher Lee and many other vampires. So I'm very glad to write the music for Dario Argento's vampire film. The film is very nice. It's very well done in 3D, and they have as big actors like Rutger Hauer, Thomas Kretschmann as Dracula, as Argento, and other Spanish actors, because it's a co-production between Spain and Italy. The score is completely classical with the orchestra, no rock and no progressive, because the film was shot in costumes of end of the 19th century, so music is very classical. My experience with Dario starts many years ago with the Profondo Rosso. So I had a chance with Dario. This is my 4th themed film. Yeah, including the production like Demons and Dawn of the Dead by Romero and others. But every film I did with Dario was a different experience because every music has his own style, and I always try to do something different every time with Goblin and by myself. And it's a good experience to work with Dario because Dario is director that he loves music. He knows what he wants, but he's not very, come si dice, non è uno che sta sempre lì a controllare, lascia molto libero.
He leaves you free to do what you want,
your
own artistic interpretation.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay on top of you.
I work with many other small directors that have more, bad, really bad. But Dario, no, this is a fantastic person, yeah.
Other questions for the panel?
You guys ever hook up when you're making the movie?
Did you ever hook up while you were making the movie? Did you hook up while you were making the movie?
That means abbiamo fatto. Do you see the smile of embarrassment? So the answer is no. We're great.
It's a secret.
Yeah. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, the secret. Yeah. Darn, I missed that.
Who did hook up on the set though?
It's a personal.
No
comment.
Okay, no comment. No comment.
Just ask to their son.
Question about?
This one's mainly for Bobby, since you appear in both Demons and Demons 2. How did you get cast as Hank the Workout Master in Demons 2, since you were going in the first film?
Okay, how did you get it? I don't know. Maybe because the first one was successful abroad, so they impose in some way, so that they think, they had to think, to give me another role. I don't know if it happened in the story of movies, but now, now people, there's some actors who I heard about, this small production that this girl said, she's gonna die in this movie, and say, oh, the next one, I want to be, it's like Bobby Rhodes, because, he was in another movie and was already dead. That's a sort of example.
And also, if I may, there's a little bit in the title, there's a confusion, because although it says Demons 2, Lamberto and Dario, they never considered it as a sequel. And Demons 2 is not a sequel. That's why he comes back as a different character. And I think people always go, well, how come he can come back? He's dead and he has a different name. They liked what he's saying is they liked his work so much, they wrote a new character for him, even though it's the same person. And that's why it's Italian cinema, because you can do that in Italian cinema. And the other thing, someone was saying, well, you worked with Dario before, and what's it like to work with Dario? Just, I want to keep it in mind for everyone that Lamberto Bava is the director, and he and Dario wrote the screenplay together, and Dario was the producer and not the director on Demon. So it's kind of like working with him, but Lamberto was full hands-on for the directing, and I know that's a little bit like on the blogs who really did it. Lamberto really did the directing, and Dario really was the producer, although they were both on set all the time, and they get along great, and we all see each other all the time.
Other questions?
Who do you like better, Tony or Hank?
Yeah, Tony, of course. Yeah, of course. A real good character, yeah.
Well,
and I had, my let's say, hookers.
That's how you say.
So I swear a lot. That's I like it.
Well, on that note, how fucking postmodern is it to get to watch Demons in a theater with the characters, the actors who play the characters, watching the movie in the theater in the movie? Yeah. Kind of makes your head hurt, but it's awesome. And that's what we're about to do here. They're here all weekend. Visit them at their tables. Come see Claudio play tomorrow night. Shock Jock's been awesome.
And then when it's all done, what do they have to do? Smash everything!